welcome to the Unbreakable Hearts channel.
Good afternoon here, YouTube people. What is going on with you all today? It's about to rain here, so I'm going to go ahead and head back. And I just wanted to come to you and tell you a little bit about what's going on. And I want to talk to you about abandonment and rejection. Those two problems that occur in people's lives sometimes. Some people have big time abandonment problems and rejection. They fear rejection, and it's all fear. And if anything is fear based in your life, you will never achieve a higher energy if you fear too much. Fear is the worst ever thing that you could have that will keep your energy very low. So if you want to achieve high energy, like very high energy, you cannot fear anything. And I think that was one of the biggest things that I've learned here in my past, being rejected and abandoned. I was not only abandoned in a relationship, but I was abandoned by my family. And it all stems from back when I was younger. I was 17. I told you the story about my high school and that I got my GED. And whenever I was like 17 and a half, I guess, I was working, but at home things were not good, and my brother just happened to get under my skin, as he usually did when he was young, and I hauled off and hit him. And he ran to my parents and told them that I hit him, and he was crying and this and that, and my dad didn't even sit me down. He just packed all of my bags up and dropped me off at my job. And it was like instant abandonment, and kind of rejecting me also, and I felt that for the longest time. Almost 35 years I had lived with that. And I went to my dad finally, and I told him how I felt. Actually, maybe 40 years. And I told him how I had felt and what happened. And we talked about it, and we got it off of our chest, me mostly. And I couldn't tell you how bad that it felt inside to feel abandoned, like I was abandoned by my family, like, hey, see you later. And that's exactly how it felt to me. Like, why would you abandon me? I'm your son. Mom bore me, and you were part of that, and you're just going to abandon me like that? And I felt very rejected and abandoned. And so I had to come to grips with that and say, you know what? As a parent, we don't always do the right thing. As a matter of fact, a lot of times we do the opposite. But, I couldn't expect my parents to be perfect, because I'm not perfect myself. And, they understood where I was coming from, and I also did where they were coming from. So we came to an agreement, and my dad had taken me in his pickup truck, put all of my belongings in it, and tossed them out in the parking lot of where I worked at. And I had to find some place to live. And, I grew up from that point on, I became a man. I joined the army. I did a lot of things from that point on. But I still had abandonment issues at that time. And then my ex-wife, that whole factor bled into it. And I kind of felt a little bit abandoned by her also. She kept jumping to conclusions that I had this and this girl over here and this one over there. I was helping out a church that had a bunch of Vietnamese people, and I loved helping these Vietnamese people out. I felt good about it. It felt really good to help these people. They would come in on an airplane, and they didn't have nothing to their name, and I would take them to this place that actually gave them beds, they gave them food, they gave them a lot of items, and I would help them out. And it made me feel really good inside to do. It was just something that I loved to do. I loved helping other people. It gave me a real good feeling. But anyways, to get back with it, my ex-wife didn't like that. I was at work and there were 4 girls that lived like 3 cities away from where my work was, and I lived in the same city that I worked. And so I would take them home and bring them back. But, one thing I did do is I told her that I didn't have anything to do with them. But I did drop them off at their homes, but she would jump to conclusions. Then she would put all my children in the van. We had a little Toyota van, and ride around my work during the daytime, checking me out to see if I was, talking to somebody or whatever. I don't know how she would even know that. The Indian guy that I worked for, it was a brass company, and there were big buildings in there, and how could you even see me? But and my boss actually called me up to the office and said, "Why is your wife circling my business?" And I said to him, "I really don't know. She just has problems with trusting somebody." Anyways, towards the end, it became somebody else in another business that I worked for. I was a machine operator. She called my office and told them that I was cheating on her with a girl that worked there. Well, this girl was married, which I do not do, and I was married to her, but she insisted, and she kept calling my business. And finally, they called me up in the office and they said, "Look, we can't have this girl calling every 5-10 minutes and accusing you of doing something. If she doesn't stop, you're going to end up losing your job." Well, I told her this, and I don't know if she ever did it again. I ended up quitting maybe 2 or 3 months after that, so that's over with and done. But anyways, she would just always and always call my jobs. When I went to the final job before her and I got divorced, there wasn't very many women in there at all, and most of them were black girls, and she didn't feel like I liked black women, which I don't have a problem with, so, but she didn't bother with me like that during that time. And I finally got a little bit of peace during that time. But anyways, to get back with this, if you have problems with abandonment and rejection, you need to look within yourself and discover what it is that put you on that path. Maybe as a child, you felt like your parents abandoned you or rejected you in some way. Maybe your first love, maybe they acted like you weren't even there most of the time. And, apparently they weren't a good person to you. So, hopefully you moved on, I don't know. But, if you are always the way that you are, then you'll always be in the situation that you are. You have to change yourself from the inside. And that is what I did. I changed myself. I got over that. It took me a while now. I'm not going to tell no stories. It took me a while. But I finally got over that. I talked just with my dad. And I said, I felt like you abandoned me and rejected me. And he said his sorries, we forgave each other, we hugged each other. I loved my dad, and I just felt like because I loved my dad so much that he should have never done that to me. But as he told me, we all as parents, as adults, as children, we all do things that we might have regretted. And he said that. He said he regretted doing that to me. And it really made me feel good inside that he was acknowledging his downfall in that. It was the heat of the moment. He put my bags in the truck and he just dropped me off, But I had to get over that. I did get over that and moved on from there. And now I don't have those abandonment problems. If somebody appears to have abandoned me, it doesn't affect me like that anymore. I'm good with you and I'm good without you. And that's how I feel, even if it's family, even if it's friends, acquaintances, a lover, whatever it is, a wife, or however. If you leave, sayonara, see you later, because I can't sit around and pine over why you left me. You left me for your reasons, not for mine. So if you want to go out and explore, see all the people that you can see and do all the things that you can do, remember this: you left me, I didn't leave you. So, I know my worth, okay? I know what I have within me. I know my gifts. And if I don't jive with you for whatever reasons, hasta la vista, baby. And that's how we all should be, If you can't see yourself being with that person because they just want to act out in any kind of way, it's your own life. You could do what you want to do, but not for me. Not for me. So, and if you worry about being rejected after you left somebody, look inside. What did you do that was wrong? Did you do anything in that relationship that was wrong? Because if you did, there you have your answer. And sometimes you just have to strike it up there on the board as a lesson learned. Okay, well, the next time I try to do this, I won't do it like that anymore. I won't do things that will affect that person to the point that they really don't even want to talk to me. But if you never try to find out how that person feels about you, that's a different situation. I mean, you could just sit there and pine about that person, love that person in your heart, but you don't want to go out and try to find out how they feel about you. You just want to sit around, boo-hoo about it, and just say, well, it'll never be, so I'll just let it go. And that's your prerogative, but the better thing to do is to see how that person feels about you. Don't just assume that they don't care about you anymore. And that's pretty much it. Anyways, I want you to know that I love you. I love you right there. Love yourself. Love my Father God. And by all means, love each other, people. Until the next time, love, peace, and soul.